Were you consulted or any other alumni asked throughout the process? And how long do you think Lincoln Riley was like the target? Because there was a lot of names being thrown out there.
Yeah, there was a lot. So I was consulted. Again, I have a good relationship, a really close relationship with Mike and Brandon. So there were a lot of conversations from before Clay was fired to after, and a lot of hey, these guys, and what do you think here? What are we looking for in a next head coach? What's important? Because there was a lot of stuff with USC that hey, personality and this and that, and listen, Pete Carroll was Pete Carroll. I mean, look, you're not going to have another guy with the same personality that embraced the LA culture the way he did. But you just want a damn good football coach who can develop players and get USC back. It doesn't matter if you're hobnobbing with LA. It really didn't matter. And that was their message to me, and kind of my message to them is hey, man, we're not gonna find Pete, but we're gonna go find the best coach available that's gonna bring us back. So there were a lot of those conversations. There were, they made it a point to get a lot of feedback from former players, a lot of players from myself to Carson to, Willie McGinnis to, you can go the older guys to Marcus Allen, Ronnie Lott.
Wow. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So they really wanted to embrace what do we want to see in our next head coach. Now, at the end of the day, they're going to go out and get their guy. And they had Lincoln on the radar from day one. I was shocked, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be Matt Campbell. I was hearing the rumors the day before that Matt Campbell is probably the guy, which I would have been happy with as well. He's a really good football coach. But, obviously when these things happen, they do happen very quickly. But there had to be conversations with Lincoln in the weeks prior to set this up, I think, which just tells me our guys at USC did a fantastic job. They knew who they wanted, and they got him.
Yeah, so are they using your plane? Like they told, allegedly, the contract is 24/7 access to a private plane, allegedly. These are all, and
I saw that too. I mean, geez.
Hey, start coaching, Matt. Start coaching, dude. Get a whistle.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, we're on our Big Noon kickoff chat. I know you know Brady and Joel Klatt and Reggie and all our crew, and and Coach Stoops is on there, who now is the intern for Oklahoma, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
And we're just like, dude, we got into the wrong profession, man. Like $100 million.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy,
dude. I think I could go motivate a team for $100 million.
Yeah.
No, but it's wild. I mean, the things that are being thrown at these coaches, and look, I mean, it's the asking price these
How do you
days,
feel about it, Matt? Matt, Big Noon kickoff, obviously, I enjoy watching a good atmosphere. You guys, I think, have really gone to work on it. We've seen it grow. I didn't get a chance to see the beginning of College Game Day. I kind of saw it. Watching you guys kind of grow is awesome, but now you're like an authority on college football, like you're one of the big voices alongside those people. How do you feel about like the Brian Kelly situation, for instance? I mean, it's been happening, again, since the beginning of time, but
right.
It's crazy that Notre Dame could, it's still, and then the way it all, I don't know. As an adult, I get it. Like $95 million.
Of course.
You're doing your thing, but there has to be some sort of standard, right? Like, I don't think I fully understand how that whole thing pans out,
I mean, Pat, just put yourself, again, I try to we're older. We get the business side of things. It's $100 million. I don't think anybody's saying no to that. But, as a player, you're a 21-year-old player. Plus, there's a very good chance Notre Dame is in the playoff. A few things need to happen, but they have a realistic path just to slip in at number 4, and then all of a sudden, your head coach is gone. So I would say there's probably a more tactful and maybe tasteful way to do that, because the story comes out of he's recruiting, and then the story breaks right after. You're in a recruit's home trying to get into Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Your staff is on the road recruiting. I'm not sure they were even aware at the time that he was going. So, again, these things are happening so fast now. So I understand the business side of it, especially as a grown man, and I get it. But there's got to be a more tactful way and tasteful way to do it, and not hold a 7 a.m. 2-minute press conference with your meeting with your team. 2 minutes, basically, you're saying, guys, I'm out.
Couldn't he just do it on the text?
It's been a great run, and I'm done.
Why couldn't he just follow up with the text and just say, hey, instead of a 2-minute, like when Rich Rod, I was there when Rich Rod went to Michigan, and the year before there was a tease he was going to Alabama, and we had these emergency team meetings called the next morning. I think they were at like 9, maybe because Rich Rod liked to sleep a little bit. I don't know why 7 a.m. was the time or whatever, but he goes, 2 minutes? Like, what are you even doing in 2 minutes? Because you got to think about the walk to the thing as well. Like, he's walking into that room. He's not standing up there to begin with. So that's 30 seconds of walking at least. So what is he even saying that he couldn't have said in that 2 a.m. text?
I don't know. I will say this. Like, so I was at Lincoln's press conference on Monday at SC, and look, it's a little bit of a different situation. Both Oklahoma's done. Obviously, they have a bowl game, but he left. He already hit the ground recruiting, all of those things. But I know he had a team meeting, and he actually got choked up in talking about Oklahoma. So there was look, at the end of the day, he got paid. He took a job. He left his team, all that. But he got choked up talking about what Oklahoma meant to him. And to me, that's genuine, knowing Lincoln a little bit. And I'm assuming, and I know Coach Stoops, and I've talked to Coach Stoops, Lincoln, it was a very difficult decision for him. And I'm sure there was a lot of emotions in that team meeting room from Oklahoma. So there's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. And look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. These players, they're at the mercy of these coaches leaving. And again, it is what it is. So there's probably a more tactful way to do that, but $100 million, that 2 minute, he's going on that private plane and he's out.
Yeah, and then he cuts a promo for the LSU video is like a promo about what he learned at Notre Dame to bring to LSU. It's like, golly, this guy has turned full heel. But if they win, nobody cares. Like, that's the thing about all sports, not just college football, NFL football. And you were talking about Lincoln Riley not being Pete Carroll and, embracing and hobnobbing with LA. If you win, LA will hobnob with you, right? Like, that is every city, by the way. That's not just LA.
That's the every city. And people, I was telling this to someone the other day, like, Pete, we were terrible. My true freshman year was Pete's first year. We were 6-6. We lost to Utah in the Vegas Bowl. And Utah I think we lost 10-6. Like, it was a horrible game. No one gave a crap about us. I think our attendance was 30,000, and that was when the Coliseum had 100,000 before the renovations. The next year, we go 11-2. It was a 1-year fix. We go 11-2. We beat Iowa in the Orange Bowl, and the Coliseum. We beat I think it was Brad Banks and Dallas Clark, Bob Sanders.
Those are my guys.
Yeah, all-time Iowa team.
To hell with you, Matt. You shouldn't have beat.
Bob was a beast, man.
Yeah, so was Dallas. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, hey, Snoop wants to come, and Will Ferrell's on the sideline, and God, I mean, who's who? And then Pete just said, "Screw it, man! Like, why wouldn't I use this to my advantage?" So, look, it happens that way. As you said, you win, fans love you, man. Especially a place like USC, because let's face it. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, Dodgers, Lakers, Clip. I mean, there's everybody around here. So USC. They have to be good. Fans will show up. That's kind of sometimes the type of fans that we had at USC, but who cares, man? Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Lincoln will sell out the Coliseum next year. That place will be full next year.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome to hear, by the way. And congrats, Lincoln. I think he already signed like some 7-star quarterback out of LA or whatever.
Oh, he's flipping everybody already.
Yeah, and he's using LA, but I think if we know anything about USC, it is a school filled with alumni that just want to be associated with USC. They will stage photos in small pools.
That's right.
To get it.